How about those Seattle Mariners? Welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Friday, August 4th. My name is Peter Apple, and I'm here to deliver you some MLB winners. We got a loaded show today, folks. We got almost 30 different picks. Like on the last couple of streams, a lot of cowards. But today, no one's really being a coward. I know Ollie One Unit has like 15 plays. DeGen's got a bunch. Gino's got a bunch. I know I got my two. Colby's coming in hot. Jake Hazen is back. So many picks today, and it is all brought to you by the Pikkit Sports App. Producer Cohen's going to drop the link in chat. Remember to sync your sportsbook using code Peter. That's where all of the picks are tracked. Producer Cohen, if you could show the people the current leaderboard, because we got some people at the top that will be coming on today. We're going to see how that ends up going. Producer Cohen is loading that up right now into the system. Cohen dog, I'm down coin tailing you. He said, "Why are you tailing me?" But he'll come on and answer for his bad bets. And it's August 4th, and he has yet to win a bet yet. But this is, of course, the leaderboard right now. It's tracked on the Pikkit Sports app, but we don't have Brandon, our amazing graphics guy, because he's on a bachelor trip. And as you can see, Javon still holds the lead with Gino and myself right on his tail. Ollie One Unit. Look at that. And how about not mid-major? What a return to glory for mid-major Matt. He was down like 17 units like a couple of weeks ago, back up into the green. DeGen, Anthony. This leaderboard looks a lot better than it used to, folks. We know that, right? Colby and Aram coming in with some wins. And, we still got a couple people we need to get back up into the green. But, loaded show. Remember, I got my two picks. I got a prize picks entry today. We're going to go over home run picks. Aaron Judge did not hit a home run, but of course, Giancarlo Stanton did. It was going to be one of them. Judge didn't hit a home run, but we got to bounce back. Got to get another home run after we hit Votto the day before that, and we hit somebody else the day before that. It's been a good time for home run bets, but let's do a quick recap of yesterday. The Seattle freaking fighting Mariners. My honest issue, is that the Mariners are giving me hope, right? For our World Series futures, for all that good stuff. They're just hanging in there. They're gritty. Cardinals felt like such a good pick. But unfortunately, Libby just gave up too many runs. And what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? But let's get into some highlights. Let's start with Cardinals first because that's going to be quick because it sucked. Matthew Liberatore did not look great, right? Command was all over the place in his first outing back. And then that happened. Watch it fly and goodbye. That was one of two home runs. Then they got, of course we got that shit. But what are you going to do there? Steals a bag. And then Michael A. Taylor goes, yeah. 3-0 pitch. Kind of mean of him to hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch. I mean, what an asshole. Like, take a pitch, right? Remember when Yermin Mercedes hit that 3-0 pitch? He got booted from the White Sox and hasn't returned back. Are people saying that Michael A. Taylor should maybe be banned from Major League Baseball? I don't think it's that bad of an argument. But yeah, the Twins just piled on. I'm kind of sick of this shit. It was just all... Liberatore's just throwing... what is that pitch? Let's be real. What is that pitch? Just not ready yet. But weirdly, Cardinals kept it kind of interesting, right? Twins took a 4-0 lead, and then we have an Alec Burleson home run. It got relatively close, but realistically, it was always out of reach. And then look at the Twins. Now they throw their best relievers because they were winning, like I said. And when they did, it was pretty much no shot. Also, what didn't help, no Wilson Contreras, no Nolan Gorman, no Nolan Arenado. Gorman and Arenado we thought potentially would be in the lineup by game time. They were not. We got Taylor Motter instead, not even trying his best. That swing isn't trying his best. Let's be real with each other. But let's talk Mariners, because that was our winner. This man, something that went so incredibly well, right? Because I don't know if you guys are tailing the season-long prize picks entry. Also, that was awesome. But then the problem with this inning, they didn't score a single run in this inning. Runners on first and third, and then just classic Mariners shit where they just cannot score with runners in scoring position. Ohtani only went 4 innings in this game, allowed no earned runs, and then got taken out. That's the absolute perfect thing for our season-long entry when we have his under ERA. He lowered it to in the mid 3.3s. We're trending in the right direction for an ERA under 3.15. Look at that catch by Randall Grichuk. That sweeper was disgusting. And then Soriano pumping 100. Yeah, isn't this crazy? He was removed for cramping in his right fingers, but then stayed in the game to play DH and hit a home run later in the game. This guy was kind of impressive. Soriano, I haven't seen much of him. And he pitched pretty well. I don't know much to say about him, but he's got an electric fastball. Kind of a hanger, though. Eugenio Suarez takes it deep, and I'm like, perfect. Mariners got a lead. Nope. Steal by Ohtani. He's fast. CJ Cron up the middle. Ohtani scores because he's fast. And then we got a tie ball game, and then we got Mike Moustakas. I mean, look at this shit. We planned on that happening, though. At least one lefty was going to get a hit that game. And then we got Ohtani coming up, and look at this ball. Bang. Schwack, 40th home run of the year. Putting together one of the greatest seasons in MLB history again. But then, Cade Marlowe, former Savannah Banana, 0-2, 1 out, bases loaded. Carlos Estevez goes fastball up, swing and miss. Fastball up, swing and miss. And Cade Marlowe says, you better not throw me that in the zone again. And he sends one 950 feet, and we win that game. That's why I love underdogs, ladies and gents. That's why I love underdogs, right? We only got to win one to make money. And we hit the Royals earlier. So 0.9 units on the day for all of my picks, but just for stream purposes, only went up 0.4 units, but we're staying in there. Cade tucked us in. All right, didn't play this game, but that home run was electric. Some slight. Let's see if you want to play any of these games. All right, let's start the Detroit Tigers. I can already feel that you guys are mad at me. I got so many DMs today. Peter, Tigers again. Why? I'll tell you why. This game is funny to me. Now, I've lost on Reese Olson before, but I'm still a believer. And I'm also a Zach Littell hater. This is also something about this Tigers team. It makes me want to bet on them. And on top of that, it's not like the Rays are playing all that well. So who is Zach Littell? So he was acquired from the Red Sox after 2 rough starts as an opener. Excuse me. I just drank a G Fuel. I got all the fizzy stuff in my body. The Rays saw something in his split finger. And the reason you know that is when a pitcher goes over to the Rays, their pitch usage tends to change. And they said, throw your fastball less, throw your slider less, and throw your split more. Makes sense, right? However, he's still throwing his fastball and his slider about 75% of the time combined, about 73%. Both are getting killed. He's allowing the hardest contact of his career at 51.5%. They gave him 5 innings of work for the first time this season in his last start. He allowed 8 hits and 2 earned runs. ERA estimators, though, like you guys know, I like Sierra, xERA, all that good stuff. They still like him, and I know why. It's because his walk rate, incredibly low, 3.8%. And the walk rate is a significant component, for when you're looking at peripherals. But everything else doesn't really inspire confidence in him for me. He throws a 94-mile-an-hour fastball without any life. Sits in the 11th percentile in spin. It's not a good fastball. And it's surrendered a 370 batting average against. Slider, same thing. It's a hard breaking ball with below-average stuff characteristics. Allowed a 324 batting average against. His peripherals will tell you he's a mid-4s ERA guy with the potential to go lower. But how can I fully trust those peripherals when all he does is throw 1 to 2 inning spurts, but then he finally is now going to 5 innings, and he probably will today, considering that Shane McClanahan just hit the IL. The Rays have a problem right now with starting pitching depth, so he's probably going to pitch a long time, and if he is, I'm so willing to fade him. To compare, Reese Olson, right, talking fastball sliders, Reese Olson also throws a fastball and slider about 65% of the time. Opponent batting average against those 2 pitches is 190. Let's watch Reese Olson here. That's nasty. Let's watch this. That's nasty. That's a changeup. There's something about him that I like. There's something about him, and I'll tell you why. Besides just watching film right here. So many of the runs that have come against him are via the home run. He's allowed 8 home runs this season in 49 and 2/3 of innings. But his xFIP is 3.88. And why am I bringing that up? Basically, the way he's getting into trouble is via the home run, like I said. xFIP normalizes home run to fly ball rate. So guess what his lowest peripheral is? His xFIP, right? Because he has a higher home run to fly ball rate, and they're saying that they should come down. If he can limit home runs today, he should be in really good shape. And I think he will be in good shape today because he's been very effective against righties, right? All we got to do is limit the power output. 3.54 xFIP against right-handed pitching. Excuse me. Oh, I shouldn't have drank that G Fuel. Holding an xFIP of 3.54 against righties compared to 4.40 against lefties. The power bats in the Rays lineup, all right-handed. The only lefties he's probably going to see, Wander Franco, Brandon Lau, Josh Lowe. They could do damage, right? It's an underdog. Nothing's perfect. If we can just get by them, we should be in good shape today. And a big addition that's out of the lineup is Luke Raley, right? Suffered a knee contusion, and he's not going to play today. That is their biggest lefty power bat. You could say Brandon Lau, but he hasn't been performing like that this year. The Rays offense, just in general, in the past 30 days against righties, 99 WRC plus. Now the Tigers, not very good. 86 WRC plus. So it's not good, but it's not that big of a difference, right? So the Tigers offense stinks, but they're facing a really crap pitcher in Zach Littell. And the only thing that the Tigers can do is hit sliders. And Littell's slider is way below average, and he's still throwing it a ton. They can also time up a fastball that has no life to it. So everyone in both bullpens is available today because of the off day. The Tigers should have sold off key pieces at the deadline, but decided to hold. It's not great for their team's future, but it's great if you want to take the Tigers today because their bullpen ranks number 12 in Sierra this season. Rays ranked 23rd. That's the one problem with their bullpen, right? Pete Fairbanks is a guy who I do not want to see in this game. But again, if we see Pete Fairbanks, the Rays are probably winning and the game's probably over anyway. But the Rays do not have that great of a bottom of a bullpen. The Tigers, on the other hand, have plenty of excellent options to go to, right? So when I look at the game, I saw the Tigers have the better bullpen and the better starting pitcher. Rays have the better offense. Tigers are at home. Plus 130 felt like a really good price. And I went back because you guys know I cap. I look at the games. Then I'll go to the model and see if it agrees with me. They had the Tigers at minus 162. Now, it's crazy, right? It's crazy talk. Minus 162. What I will say is it was crazy talk yesterday with the Mariners and they won, right? Sometimes they see an edge there and they think it's a massive edge. And I really do think it's because of Zach Littell. I don't really think it's because of the Tigers. I think it's because Zach Littell is not any good. And also for all my line readers out there, right? The Rays, of course, are getting tons of money, whether it be tickets, the handle hasn't really moved, right? And when I say hasn't, moved from plus 130 to plus 125 or is stuck at 130, right? I capped the game at plus 110 for the Tigers. Maybe I'm just higher on the Tigers, but I like their bullpen. I think the starting pitching advantage clearly favors the Tigers, but the Rays have the better offense, but the offense hasn't been that good. I'm willing to bet on the Tigers here. 1 unit to win 1.3. Why not us? Now, let's talk Nationals Reds because this is square. 6:40 p.m. Eastern, Patrick Corbin versus Graham Ashcraft. I'm going to ride with the public on this one, right? Public's got to win some of them, and I think they win this one. I view this pitching matchup as incredibly lopsided. Also, the Reds are coming off an embarrassing series against the Cubs, while the Nationals just took 2 of 3 from the Brewers. You guys know I don't bet against Patrick Corbin much. It's got to be in the right matchup. And also, the only really times when I fade the Nationals is when they're coming off a really good series. Both match that today. That's why I'm willing to do it. Peripherals are never going to love Graham Ashcraft. He's a soft contact pitcher without great command and a low strikeout rate. However, when his cutter and slider are working, he's extremely challenging to square up. If he were facing a power-driven team today, I'd be worried about the matchup with how good the weather is. The Nationals have the second lowest amount of home runs in the last 30 days against righties, only one more than Chicago White Sox. So why does that matter today? Well, the weather is calling for tons of home runs. But Graham Ashcraft is keeping the ball on the ground, right? And the Nationals, they don't hit home runs. The Nationals are a good matchup for Ashcraft. They don't want to strike out. They want to put the ball in play. But that feeds into Ashcraft's plan. And the Nationals have the lowest hard hit rate in all of baseball. They can spray some hits, but they struggle to generate power, registering the 7th lowest slugging percentage and the 3rd lowest isolated power. It's precisely the formula when Ashcraft faced them last time. 7 hits, but just 1 earned run over 6 innings. I think it's important today, considering how good the weather conditions are in Great American Ballpark. It's the number 1 park for offense today by 7%, calling for home runs. There's one team that hits home runs, and there's one pitcher that does give up home runs. That's Patrick Corbin against the Cincinnati Reds. He has allowed 21 of them this season, and the Reds rank 13th in baseball this season against lefties in home runs. I think people see a good Patrick Corbin start, right? He pitched pretty well in his last start and think he's returning to form, but I'm the complete opposite on him. He hasn't made any changes. None. His expected ERA sits at 6.32. Puts him in the 4th percentile. He's one of baseball's worst pitchers. He's throwing slower than last year. Slower. And all of his pitches have an xWOBA of 360 or above. Everyone's hitting the piss out of Patrick Corbin. And the Reds, they also mashed him the last time they faced him for 6 earned runs. He's worse on the road by every metric and weirdly worse in night games. Corbin is also as close to Wainwright as we have a pitcher in Major League Baseball. The Reds are going to stack righties against him. We already saw the lineup. And he surrendered an 850 OPS against righties. The model caps the Reds at first 5 lead at minus 125. Lineups came out. Model made an adjustment. Now it's minus 136 for a first 5 lead. Even if it didn't show value, I literally could not resist taking the spot. Everyone, and the main point of this is, and why a lot of people think it's square, I saw crabs on, Ashcraft, and I saw a lot of people talking about Ashcraft earn runs because he hasn't reached it in his last 5 starts, and he's got a 2.5 earned run prop on Prize Picks today. Maybe that is a trap. Maybe I'll lose a bet. But isn't it because the total's at 10.5, right? Corbin is at 3.5 earned runs and juice towards the over. For example, Red Sox Blue Jays has a total of 10.5. James Paxton is minus 130 to surpass 2.5 earned runs. He's only gone over that once in his last 6 starts. Is that a trap? Or is the total so high so the earned runs are bound to be higher? That's the main point of this is. Now, my main point is that I'm not reading into that, right? I don't think that these are trap lines. With the total at 10.5, the runs have to come from somewhere. It's not going to be a 1-1 game, the 9 runs are scored. Maybe it just goes under. I don't know. And I'm not trying to convince you to take the Reds, right? I'm just putting it out there because I saw it all over social media this morning. If you like the Reds, take them with me. I'm going to be on them, right? And I would play the first 5 on the run line, right? I think they're going to win through the first 5 up to minus 120. But I really do think they win through 5. All right? You just call it crab square? Absolutely not. I'm just saying I think too many people are reading into that earned run square. You already lost me. LMAO, oh boy, the price is low. I don't know what people are saying. Are you saying the Reds? That was for Tigers. You already lost me. Fair enough. Price is low. It is low. There's a reason. There's a reason. JK's in okay. Yeah, whatever, Jake. All right. Home run time? Home run time. So Aaron Judge did not hit a home run like we thought yesterday, and he was at 32%. So I'm just going to stay away from those big boys. Look at Mac McClain up there. So my home run pick, I wanted it to be Spencer Steer. I think he does hit a nuke job today. But because I already have Spencer Steer over 1.5 bases. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about my prize picks. I forgot. All right. Let's talk about the prize picks. So Spencer Steer is on a heater, and I am jumping in. He's been tearing the cover off the baseball, but was overshadowed by a Cubs offense that has been going crazy. In the last 15 days, 894 OPS. Last 7, OPS of 1,048. Dude is mashing. In his few games in August, he's 5 for 13 with 3 doubles and 2 homers, right? All 5 of his hits have been for extra bases. He's just seeing the ball really well, and now he faces Patrick Corbin, who we went 4 for 4 with in the game versus Corbin. And he has 1,000 OPS against lefties. What does Corbin do? And why I think this success will sustain? Works down in the zone, especially with that the slider and the sinker. Steer loves hitting the low baseball, right? You just saw in those highlights. I think he's a good bet to hit a home run today. And he leads the game in home run odds in general. Spencer Steer over 1.5 bases. Let's talk Reese Olson. Moment of silence for me. This hits line is interesting because it's the most significant value play among all pitchers at the model at 4.3 hits. He's minus 125 to go under 5.5. He's projected to go 5 innings. So basically, right, he's 15.5 pitching outs, juice towards the under. So the Rays are going to have to crush him to go over the hits line, right? He's not going to go that long. So if he pitches reasonably well, it's going to be hard to give up 6 hits in 5 innings. That means guys are getting hits every time. It means we probably lose the bet. So it's basically a double down on Tigers' money line. I'm taking it. You don't have to take it. 0.2 units. I'm on it. All right. Home run time. We got to take Matt McClain. We just got to. I mean, look at that. When's the last time he was up there, ladies and gents? When's the last time Matt McClain was up there? I just love these righty Reds bats against Patrick Corbin. I love them. I was thinking team total over 2.5 for the first 5 for Reds, but it's minus 166. I think they're going to score a ton. How are we feeling about the Rays and Orioles in LA, Pete? I mean, Rambling Gambler, did I just tell you I'm on the Tigers' money line? I mean, if you want to fade me, go ahead. But I'm on the Tigers, right? I'm on the Tigers. Steer, hell yeah. Let's go, Vital. So that's what I'm on today. But, all right, here's my prediction. Producer Cohen, can you put the camera on me? Matt McClain will hit a home run today off Patrick Corbin. It's going to be on a slider, and he's going to hit it into left field. Book it. All right? That's happening. Tigers have bit me in the ass too many times. Me too. They got to win once, right? We're taking them. Yeah, let's just go through the model and look at some of these games. Yeah, we'll do a quick refresher. So here's this game, as you can tell. So this was not as valued as it was, this morning. So this was, if you see the first 5 lead, it was minus 125. Now it's minus 136. And the reason I also like it, when I saw the Ballpark Pal model, the model hates Ashcraft, hates him, says he should be an underdog in basically every single matchup. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm going to go to the model. The model's going to hate it because it always hates Graham Ashcraft. Has him favored and thinks even the minus 175 line is undervalued. And we have seen line movement going in our direction. I just really think the square play wins and the Reds absolutely destroy him. Now, as you could tell, you could just go with the over, right? You could totally go with the over. I just think that the Reds mollywop Corbin. Mollywop him. All right, let's go to Tigers Rays. All right. So as you can see, the model's on crack, right? There's no reason that the Tigers should be minus 163 in this one. I have no idea why. I mean, I do think they win. I picked them. But, I mean, let's be real here. They should not be minus 162 or 63. But it's a good-looking thing to know, right? It's a good-looking thing to know. So I'm on the Tigers. You can take them through 5. You can take them whatever. I'm taking them through the full game. Give me plus 130. All right, Astros, Yanks. Model loves the over. Is absolutely obsessed with the over. As you can tell, 8.5 line. Thinks it should be 10.5 and juiced. And it's not really because of the ballpark, right? Yankee Stadium plus 6%. Is that what I'm reading correctly, Producer Cohen? Plus 6% on the weather factor? Plus 6%? Yeah, so it's not really weather. How good is that model? What percent is it hitting at? I mean, I would have to back data test it, but I used it last year and I was up 44 units. It's not perfect, but if it goes along with what you're thinking, might add a little bit of confidence to it. I do not recommend blindly tailing the model, but if you were looking at this over, the model loves it too. If you like the under, maybe reconsider. That's what I use the model for, right? It's not perfect. Astros team total over 4.5. Yeah, some slight, but you are an Astros fan. You bet the Astros every day. Let's be real with each other. You bet the Astros every day. And I respect you for it, but every single time in chat, you're like, I'm on Astros minus 9.5. All right, let's go to Royals Phillies. So we got good weather in Philly, right? Model likes the over. Not really surprised. Also showing a lot of value on the Royals, but I'm a big fan of Aaron Nola. I think he pitches well today. And I think now is the time to step off the Kansas City Royals, considering Jordan Lyles is pitching. Will not be on that one. No, thank you, sir. How about Orioles versus Mets? As you can tell, slight value on the Mets. You will never catch me betting on the Mets right now. Jake Hazen, I think, is going to be on the Mets, and maybe they win. There's no chance I'd be on the Mets. None. What I will say is it does like the over as well. A lot of overs today. Grand Salami bettors may be very happy. Oh, he's on first 5 ML. Mets won't win. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if David Peterson out duels Dean Kramer. We'll see. Producer Cohen, what do you think about the Mets? He said fuck no. Yeah. You will not catch me on this game at all. Blue Jays versus Red Sox. It's about... Oh, we got mid-major? Let's just get to mid-major. Of course, you guys can go check out Ballpark Pal to see the rest of the games. He'll drop the link in chat. Let's talk to mid-major. How are you?
I'm up units, brother. How are you?
What a return to glory for mid-major Matt. Do you know what you bottomed out at? Do you remember?
12 point something.
And now you're up almost 2 units. Clap it up in chat for mid-major. Just while you're sitting there watching the stream, just give him a little golf clap. I mean, just amazing. That's why I always say this leaderboard is not going to look the same as it does a week ago or a week from now. It's going to consistently be changing, and not mid-major Matt is on a heater. I want to see what you got today. What's up?
So speaking of producer Cohen and being a Mets fan and him saying he's not going to touch the Mets today, naturally, as most gamblers do who have been around the game for a while, we want to fade the fan. It's just what we do. Because when fans don't think it's a good spot for their team like you did yesterday, the Yankees won. Also, producer Cohen is a ratchet gambler who bet on the Astros yesterday, and look what happened there. So, sorry, producer Cohen. We're absolutely fading you. I have one play today. It's a 2-leg prize pick entry. So if you could, producer Cohen, if you could flash that, I appreciate you. The first leg is Dean Kramer under fantasy score.
2 unit.
Yeah, I fucking love these, brother. I do. Wow. I wanted to play the Mets, obviously, but I do fear, of course, the Orioles bats, and I don't trust David Peterson. The reason why I want to play the Mets, though, is because I really want to fade Dean Kramer because he's in his worst split. The Mets didn't stack it, but they have 5 lefties in the lineup, and he's been god-awful against lefties. And just overall, he's not been able to find
lefties. Who are the lefties?
You have McNeil, Lindor, the quality of lefties, of course, is the equivalent. It depends on what those names are. They have good lefties. Again, at the same time, though, do you know what rank the Mets do in WRC Plus in the last 30 days against righties on the road?
Oh, yeah, it's one of the best. And
one of the best.
Thing is, I talked about that when I was fading the Mets every single day against the Royals, and I was like, show me. And then Brady Singer threw an 8-inning shutout.
Agreed. Now we talk about regression. Is regression to the mean offensively or positively for the Mets, in my opinion, is going to happen today. Again, because Dean Kramer, I'm sure most of us watched the amazing Orioles kick the shit out of the Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball, first game, primetime in 5 years, all that stuff. Dean Kramer did not look good. He threw 90-something pitches in 4 innings. 7 strikeouts, sure. He didn't have any command. He got pretty lucky with stranding runners on the bases. But all that considered, plus that the Orioles have a very rested and healthy bullpen, I think he gets touched up early and often. And I think he's not going to qualify for a win, in my opinion. He's not going to qualify for a quality start. So if you're telling me I don't think he's going to strike out this Mets lineup, and you're telling me I think the Mets get at least 3 in the first 5, I don't see how he goes over the fantasy score, Peter. I really don't.
Here's my issue.
Go ahead.
Because you're hot. You're hot as shit. And I want to tail you. But man,
I'm going against the grain, Peter. Yeah,
you are. You are going against the grain.
That's what I have to do. So now, Peter, that was kind of baseball reasoning for it. Betting reason. Do you know how many runs the Mets scored yesterday against the dog shit Royals?
Oh, they've scored 0 runs in the past 2 games.
Exactly, combined. Do you know what their team total is, Mr. Apple, today? at Baltimore.
4.5.
4.5 minus 135 to the under. That's pretty high after scoring 0 in 18 innings against the Baltimore Orioles. It's also at minus 163.5 to the over after scoring 0 in the last 18 innings.
But that's my problem, though. Wouldn't the team totals be around that because the total is high?
Why is the total high, Peter? If Dean Kremer was going to pitch well, or if the Orioles going to pitch well today, and if the Mets are going to still, hit like shit, why would it not be 9? Why would it not be 8.5? Why is the total 9.5 now?
I mean, the Orioles could destroy David Peterson.
Agreed. So why are they only minus 160? Because I think the Mets put up runs today. Do I think they win the game? I don't, because their bullpen's god awful. But I think their bats wake up today.
Fair.
That's how I'm reading the line, at least.
I get it. The reason I'm scared about this is the Orioles have been square and they keep winning, and the New York Mets are still a team that a lot of people know.
I don't know anymore, man. I was kind of on them, and of course they know them, but I don't think anybody wants anything to do with the Mets anymore, especially against Baltimore on the road.
Who knows? I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Let's talk about Reed Detmers.
I don't care if you're rooting for me. I want you to tail me. Have some nuts, brother.
I cannot tail this. No shot.
I know. You're a pussy. It's okay.
I kept making money off the Royals against the Mets and then tailing them against the Orioles. It might win. You can never catch me there.
Isn't that just the gambler's fallacy you have to just fucking adhere to? Nobody wants the Mets. Anyways, we'll move on. We'll move the fuck on. But it's, Reed Detmers. Reed Detmers, everyone's in love with his strikeouts today. Across Twitter, across everywhere, don't you think? And I think he gets them, but I more so think he pitches deep into the game. He has to. For some reason, of course, it still hasn't really been announced why Ohtani was pulled yesterday.
No,
he was pitching.
Cramping in his
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then he fucking hit a home run in the ninth like he always does.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Anyways, so we had one of the most in the past week or so with top 5 in bullpen usage that was going into yesterday. And obviously after yesterday, after Soriano, Lopez, Moore, and Estevez, look like shit, obviously. You're welcome. Soriano threw 30 pitches. Estevez close to 30 pitches. Lopez is, he's probably going to be used today. Moore's probably going to use today. But Reed Detmers has to pitch deep today. And what the Mariners do not do is what they really do offensively well is they really put barrel the ball. And the one great thing that Reed Detmers has done with his slider this year is really miss barrels. Even with his fastball, he's missing barrels. He's going to hit hard, but he's not allowing barrels to make contact. So I don't necessarily love his strikeouts, but I like Reed Detmers to go over 17.5 pitching outs. He pitched once against the Mariners this year, Peter. Would you like to guess how many innings he went? How many outs he recorded?
Tell me.
14. And he opened at 17.5 today, juice to the over. Interesting in my opinion. So I do like his strikeouts, but I don't think he's going to be pitching for the strikeout today. I think he's going to be pitching to contact, which, as we saw yesterday, the Mariners are actually swinging early and often. Outside of the 9th inning yesterday, the Mariners did absolutely nothing against our pitching staff, which is not that great. So I think that's going to translate into Detmers going at least 18 outs today.
I like the Detmers one. I'm just terrified. And Jake's going to pitch the Mets, and he's going to go like, their FIP on Tuesdays against lefties at this time is this. And I'm going to be like, okay. Good luck.
And that's the good thing, right? I'm not touching the Orioles bats. I'm not touching David Peterson. I think Dean Kremer I don't think he's a good pitcher. No, I know he's not a good fucking pitcher. He's performing over expectation. And I think this is just a spot where he kind of just averages out to a mediocre pitcher. And the Mets, after scoring 0 the last 18 innings, they see some runs early and often today.
Well, whether you care or not, I am rooting for you. 2 units on this Prize Picks entry is electric.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Electric, brother. And, like you said, you don't want to ever be comfortable when you place a bet. I'm not that fucking comfortable.
I bet on the Tigers today, so I'm in the same boat. But if we're looking at splits, no one wants the Tigers either. There's a lot. That's what I'm. Oh, go ahead.
No. Talk.
No, do you disagree? Like a lot of people like the Tigers.
So I don't have much to say in that game. I know if DJ's coming on today, he's gonna give you an old man ramble on about how the Tigers are fake sharp. So just prepare for that.
Fair enough.
But I didn't really look at that game. I don't really want much to do with the Rays right now because Zach Littell, I don't think he's a good pitcher. He's coming off his best performance ever. I mean, Reese Olson performed well his last start. I don't know what to make of that game, so I don't care, honestly.
Fair
I
enough.
hope you win your bet.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's so many spots which could be considered contrarian, like you're saying, but you picked Orioles Mets. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many terrible pitchers on the board, so many weird
Dean Kramer's one of them.
Yes. All right. Good luck. Let's talk to Ollie 1 unit. All right.
See you, brother.
Good luck. All right. Ollie 1 unit. So many plays. Sprayed the board.
Yeah. Sprayed the shit out of that board. Let's just get into it.
All right. Get into it.
Runs in Baltimore. Orioles bats are going to stay hot against David Peterson, who is not as bad as his numbers may suggest, but this year he is. So Orioles bats are going to stay hot, even though they've been kind of struggling against lefties over the past month or so. Orioles bats definitely stay hot, in my opinion, and I'm ready to get hurt by Dean Kramer masterclass again. So this game's definitely ending 7-1 Orioles.
Okay. Good start. Play number 2.
The last 2 years, Orioles pitchers just own me. And I think I speak for a lot of people who are like, Dean Kramer is Kyle Bradish good? Is Dean Kramer good? Like, are these guys good? Not really. Kyle Bradish is pretty good. I think Tyler Wells is pretty good. Kyle Gibson, I still think stinks. And Dean Kramer, I still think stinks. So that's on that. And then, this is the don't overthink it over the day, in my opinion, which probably means Waino goes 8 in 1 run, the way I've been seeing the board lately. But Chris Flexen isn't good. The Rockies bullpen isn't good. However, they are on rest, which I like, right? They did. They didn't play yesterday, right?
The Cardinals did.
No, the Rockies.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, right. So the Rockies they have that off day in between traveling, which I like for them to hit Wainwright up and a bad Cardinals bullpen. The Rockies aren't good. We know that they traded away their best hitters. We know that. But I think Ryan McMahon can do some damage today, and maybe we get some production from people we don't expect to in that Rockies lineup. And on the flip side, we know Chris Flexen's not good. Lets up a lot of hard contact, but I think he's going to be okay today. And if we go to the next play,
let's go to it.
Well, spoiler alert. Yeah, there we go. Rockies money line. I think this is worth a stab at the price, so I put that in there as well. Wainwright and the Cardinals in general, I just don't think are. Listen, the Rockies aren't good. The Cardinals aren't good. That's been established. I think at plus 160, Adam Wainwright, minus 180, minus 190. Give me a break in today's economy. Take a stab at the Rockies today. Value play only.
In today's economy. What if you came on stream and it was like, I got 1.9 units on Wainwright money line to win a unit?
Yeah, in 2023, August of 2023, I mean, good luck to you, but I'll take my half unit on the Rockies for the same amount of profit.
Like in the same week we figured out that there are aliens, we also figured out that Adam Wainwright is minus 190 today.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Let's keep going.
So we saw runs a lot here yesterday. Mitch Color Day has been moved to 2024. I'll see you next year. It's been nothing but pain and misery for about a month and a half for my guy. Some say it was inevitable. Others say he's just tired. And I think he's just tired.
Tired.
He's probably tired. That's fine.
Yeah.
The lack of control hasn't been there. Anyways, 2 bad pitchers today. And 2 bad offenses, but I think even though the back end of these bullpens are both ready to go, I think we're going to get there before that matters, before Bednar and Williams or Joel Payams come in. I think we get to the 9 runs before those guys are even a factor. So
why not first 5 then? Just curious.
Sometimes getting too cute. Although yesterday I had the over in the White Sox Rangers game, over 8.5. The first 5 was easy peasy lemon squeezy and full game stayed under. So maybe something like that happens again and the bullpens come in and pitch 6 scoreless. But if that happens, I'll just tip my cap and chalk it up.
So as we've gone through your plays so far, you have told us that every single one of them is losing.
That's the way it's been going lately.
Which one is winning? Which one do you love of the ones you've named so far?
I don't think of the ones I've named so far. Definitely the
you're
Orioles
hot. You're
over.
up 4 units, almost 4 units on stream.
I know that, but I haven't been on stream in a while because I can't. Like I open the book and it's like Helen Keller's reading it right now when I open up the odds in the morning. Okay, past 2 weeks have not been good. That's why That's why I'm still in the green, because I haven't been coming on, and I do come on here to give when I'm confident, when I think plays are going to hit.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? That's why I have the greatest excuse in stream history, because I'm on here every day giving my picks. And so if I lose this competition, it's because of my volume. And if I win it, I'm amazing. That's what I've decided.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't have to come on every day. It's not my show. My favorite one out of the ones I've given you so far, Rocky's money line is the best value play, but my favorite play is the Orioles over.
Okay.
Out of the ones so far. A couple more left, though.
Let's keep going.
This is the favorite play. Yeah. This is my favorite play today. Minus 125, I think it got it at. It's pretty simple to me. Patrick Corbin stinks. I think the Reds bounce back after losing 3 out of 4 to the Cubs in Wrigley, and they get that. Times like this, teams that are going to go places and make the playoffs, they need a start from a guy, and maybe Graham Ashcraft is that guy that goes out there and gives them that start, that stopper that they need, because they're not getting it from Nick Lodolo. They're not getting it from Hunter Green. They're certainly not getting it from Luke Weaver or Ben Lively. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Andrew Abbott? It could be. I think he's a stud, but not last time. Today, I think Graham Ashcraft shuts down the Nationals lineup after coming off a great series against Milwaukee, right? Nationals are riding high. The Reds are kind of riding low. Tides are going to flip in this series. The Reds going to have a great weekend. The Nats come back down to earth a little bit.
So, chirp from Degen. You know how your name's Ollie 1 unit? The clown emoji instead of the O.
Yeah, he's betting on Alek Manoah today, so I'll let him.
Oh, he's so sharp. Later. Look at the line.
I think the sharp plays the Red Sox in that game. Honestly, minus 160 at home for the Red Sox against the Toronto Blue Jays is pretty telling, in my opinion. Minus 175 to win the series as well. Big series. Huge series.
What do you have to say to that, to Jen? Oh, I'm on the Rays money line today.
Wow, didn't see that coming.
Wow.
Shane Masterclass. Here comes Taj Bradley Kays. Let's run the Geno clip. We got to get that. We got to get the Geno clip on here for when, his intro or something. Or Greg. I'm sorry, not Geno. Greg. Greg Dino.
Keep going through them, because some of these are going to hit, at least some.
Yeah. And all in all, 5-3, I'll be very happy. So that's the goal.
Amazing.
5-3 is the goal. Angels money line, after just getting their heart ripped out, stomped on, and puked on, and whatever else you want to call it, I think they just bounce back tonight and beat Luis Castillo. Line is heavily, didn't they open up plus 105, 10, 15-cent move towards the Angels? I didn't get the best number, but Reed Detmers against the Mariners, I think he's going to have a fantastic game. I'm a Reed Detmers guy. I think he's going to cause a ton of swing and misses tonight in that lineup. And those left-handed bats, Mickey Moniak, Shohei, Moustakas, they get to Castillo.
I like it. Let's keep going. We got more.
This is my favorite money line play today. The D-backs. I really, really like the D-backs today. Merrill Kelly against the Twins. I don't think the Twins are going to have what it takes to get to Merrill Kelly, and the Diamondbacks coming off a pretty lackluster offensive series, and Twins lineup is out. Christian Vasquez is catching for Bailey Ober. That is beautiful. Christian Vasquez's numbers are awful with the starting pitching rotation this year. I don't know if you've seen that. Little nuggets. Ryan Jeffers' number is good. Christian Vasquez's number is bad. So that makes me like this play even more. Merrill Kelly's going to pitch well. Bailey Ober will get roughed up a little bit in the early part of the game by the Diamondbacks lineup, who's waiting to explode. Are they going to regress in the second half of the season? Yes, they're not as good as they were, but they're not as bad as they were against the Giants, who have been shutting teams down lately. It doesn't matter who comes in there. They've just been pitching their ass off and shutting them down. So I like the Diamondbacks take care of business today against Twins.
Fair enough. Okay. And
That's
got more.
Play. Yeah. Jesus, Luzardo is going to pitch very well today.
Okay, he is. All right.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
pitch. That's it. That's all I got. I would love a Jake Fishburger homer today, even though they're on the road. Call it what it is. This is more of a Plums play than anything. No value, no numbers. Just Plums are feeling the fish today.
Before you leave, do you have your card in front of you?
I can. Why?
Can you power rank your favorite to least favorite?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. All right. Favorite play, Reds first 5.
Bang.
This is in order, okay? So
Okay.
Reds first 5. Diamondbacks money line. Orioles over. Pittsburgh over. Colorado over. Miami money line. Angels money line. Colorado money line.
Arguably, I think the Rockies money line is your best pick. I was just saving that statement for whatever you power rank last, because that's the one that makes you the most uncomfortable, which might hit.
Yeah, who wants to play Rockies money line today? I can't name half the people in their lineup, and I know ball. I know,
and you know ball.
Doesn't mean
You're
I know
up
how
on
to
the
bet
stream.
it. This doesn't mean I'm a good bettor at it, but I do know baseball. I'm a fantasy baseball freak. I'm addicted to baseball. It is what it is. And I like Jerks and Profar still playing. Ezekiel Tovar hasn't been the guy. Ryan McMahon, Brendan Rodgers is back. I didn't even know that. That's great news. Nolan Jones, Elias Diaz, Montero, Toglia, and Brendan Doyle. Those guys swing toothpicks. I mean, give me a break. Doesn't matter. They're gonna win.
Fair enough. Appreciate you, my friend.
Nobody likes Wainwright though. Yeah, who likes the Rockies and Chris Flex and DGen? Give me a break.
Yeah. I think DGen, and we're going to talk to him on stream. I think there's so many bad pitchers that everything is getting in his head. There's so many bad pitchers today that nobody likes, and he's like,
he should just take the Grand Salami under and call it a night, if that's the case.
Yeah. He's putting all of them on one slide for the people. Anything else, Ollie? Anything for golf?
Let's check the leaderboard. Didn't look like anything was happening of note today. Some good golf being played, but nobody that I picked, of course. People, his XFIT. Oh, yeah, you want to talk about Chris Fexlin, XFIT, DGen? All right, bud. Good luck today. I hope the Rays take care of business against a terrible, terrible Tigers road team. It would be a real shame.
Be a real shame if the Tigers ended up being the Rays today, huh?
Yeah. And Hazen makes a good point. You see the Rays WOBA.
No, but DGen doesn't know what WOBA is.
I know. You should still see it.
All right. So here are all the plays. We got them locked in.
Wow, look at that.
That's a good-looking slate.
Yeah.
At least 3 of those are hitting. Probably 5.
Yeah, 3 are definitely hitting. Yeah, 3 and 5 probably sounds about right.
No, I think 5 and 3. I think 6 and 2.
All half-unit plays.
8-0.
Would be monumental.
Then you post a bunch of green check marks. Don't tell anybody the units, and then just go 8-0 up 58 units. You'll get so many followers.
That is the whole card. That's every play that I put out today. I haven't hit an MLB bet since Monday, so take it as you will. Maybe Tuesday, actually. I don't remember what day.
Okay, it's only Friday.
That's what I mean. And talk about 0-3 yesterday, 0-3 the day before. I mean, holy crap.
All right, Ollie. We'll talk to you soon, all right? Enjoy the
weekend.
All right.
Thanks. You too.
It's supposed to be Gino. Gino's late. 1 minute early. So let's just go to Kolb. Let's go to the Kolbmeister. Kolbmeister.
Let's go, baby.
Another on a heater was down horrendous. Was below the Cali wager line. We have not seen it a little bit. Shocker. We haven't seen it a little bit. But Colby's been feeding us winners. How'd you do yesterday? Again.
Did I go? I went 2-0.
Up 1.92 units for the kid. 3 straight winning days on stream.
Dude, four straight. After the All-Star break, I'm 4-0, or like 4 straight days on stream winning. So
let's make it 5. What do we got today?
We can just start with let's go the Tigers first. Perfect. You're on that one too. I mean, I'm taking the first 5. I really just wanted to isolate pitching matchups here. I've been rolling with first 5s lately, so why not? But yeah, I mean, Pete, this one's pretty simple. The Rays offense has really been struggling, especially against right-handed pitching. They only have a 280 xWOBA against righties the last 30 days. That's like shockingly low. And for reference, the Tigers also suck against right-handed pitching. They have a 286 xWOBA. That beats the Rays somehow. Both are bad.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying in my write-up. I'm like, the Rays have the offensive advantage, even though they've been terrible, because the Tigers just suck so bad against righties. But they can hit Littell today.
Yeah, I think they can definitely hit Littell. He's actually given up a 50% hard hit rate this year, a 10% barrel rate. So you can get to him. He might get you with that splitter, as you mentioned, but his other pitches are definitely hittable. He doesn't really get whiffs on that slider, and the fastball is certainly hittable. I think hitters have a 400 WOBA against that pitch this year. It's been hit. Reese Olson is interesting because, he has a 4.71 ERA, a 4.68 xERA. That 3.84 Sierra gives me hope. I've also watched a lot of him, and I've watched a lot of him as a prospect. I'm like, there's something in there. I
agree. There's something there, and I want to keep betting it. And one of these days, he's going to hit because he is good. I think
so, man. I think he's solid. I think he's like a back end guy, but we'll take that all day long. So that's really the write up here, or my explanation here is I think the Tigers have value here at plus 110. Right, a tie is a push for me here, but giving me value at plus 110. I think that this game is closer to even than the books want to admit.
I agree, and I saw the first 5 line when I bet plus 132, and I was like, not plus 132, plus 130 also, and I was like, well, the Tigers have a better bullpen than the Rays do. So if they think that the first 5 money line is much closer, I have faith in the home team with the better bullpen off a rest day winning outright. So that's why I went with the full game money line. But I agree. I think the biggest edge here is Reese Olson to Zach Littell. And normally it would be the Rays offense to the Tigers offense, but the Rays offense has been terrible. And that's probably why DeGen's on him. Tyler Glasnow masterclass. Leading the league in strikeouts, Shane, Cy Young, not biased. Keep going.
Before I get to my next play, Pete, I wanted to talk about Graham Ashcraft for just a second because I think he's such an interesting arm right now because of how inconsistent he has been all season. Like the first 6 or 7 outings this year, he had a 2 ERA. Then he had an 8-game stretch where he had a 12.82 ERA. Eight games, 12.82 ERA, like literally one of the worst stretches I've ever seen. And then the last 6 starts for him, he has a 1.75 ERA, but a 4.36 FIP and a 5.03 Sierra. So I'm not letting him fool me yet. Like I still think there's a stinker in there. So I wanted to ask you, is this Cincinnati Reds pick for you more of a pick against this Nationals offense? Because I think Ashcraft still is not a good arm.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I also said in my explanation too, peripherals are going to hate Ashcraft, right? Because what do peripherals like? They want you to give up strikeouts, you don't walk anybody, and you allow soft contact. Ashcraft is good at allowing soft contact, but he doesn't strike anybody out, and he doesn't have a good walk rate. So no matter what, no matter if the 1.75 or the 12 ERA stints, they're never going to like him. It's just a pitcher – kind of like Elder, like these ground ball guys that just keep the ball on the ground. They don't really strike out anybody, but they're the walks there. They're never going to like him. And I think against the Nationals team that is the lowest hard hit rate in all of baseball, they don't strike out either. They want to put the ball in play. And I think when you want to put the ball in play and you're aggressive against Ashcraft, it's just going to be balls on the ground. And like they'll get their hits, but they're not a power-driven team either. So I don't think they're going to drive it out of the ballpark to take advantage of those runners on. While you flip on the other side, Patrick Corbin gives up a ton of home runs. Reds hit for power. So I just think while Ashcraft may not throw a no-hitter today, I think the Reds score so many runs off Corbin that it's like even if he goes 5 innings, 3 runs, it won't matter because they're just going to score 6.
Yeah, that's fair. I was actually going to take the over, the first 5 over, but I just don't have faith in these two offenses right now. It's an interesting game. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I don't really have a lean anymore, but just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, we can get to my next play. I'm on Marlins first 5 plus 110. First 5 money line plus 110. Just a tale of good old Luzardo here, who has been nasty this year. 3.66 xERA and a 3.52 Sierra. He has games where he looks like the best pitcher on the planet. Like 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, 2 hits. You're like, holy shit, this guy could be an ace. But then he does have some stinkers. I don't think that happens today because the Rangers have actually struggled against lefties, Pete. A 3.02 xWOBA against lefties this month, which is shocking from this Rangers lineup that has been killing lefties earlier in the season. They're still killing righties. I think their xWOBA against righties this month is like 350. So they've been killing righties. Lefties have given them a little bit of trouble, and Luzardo isn't just your average lefty. He is really dang good. And then the Marlins, I think, can score today off of Jordan Montgomery, who is just, again, middle of the road, usually gives up a 2 to 3 earned runs, usually a quality start machine, but 2 or 3 earned runs in this one, I think, is enough for the Marlins to take the first 5. And the Marlins have hit lefties, a 363 WOBA and a 326 xWOBA versus lefties this month, especially with these new additions in the Marlins lineup, like Jake Berger, I think can definitely hit one out off of Montgomery. So I think the Marlins steal one in the first 5, and at plus 110, absolutely in love with this one.
Let's go. I was thinking about the Marlins too, because I do like Luzardo a lot, but I guess I was just, my one trepidation was the Rangers also do pretty damn well against lefties. I just think, again, kind of like you were saying with the Reds Nats pick, I think this game is going to be sick. Like, there's a lot of great games on the slate today. I'm excited to see this.
It's a good card, man. A good Friday night card. We've been lucky to have some really good Friday nights.
It's funny. I do feel like this card is a little bit tough to bet, but there's a lot of just great baseball games. Like, for people who don't give a shit about betting, this is just good baseball today.
Totally.
All right.
I mean, this Red Sox Jays series is the biggest series of the year for the playoff picture. So it's really starting. It's like the start of the playoff. Like,
true. Red Sox.
Wire.
Red Sox. It's the biggest for playoff caliber teams like the Red Sox are. Talk about the Twins.
2 games out. Twins first 5, -0.5, plus 100. I did not want to pay for the juice. I think it was -140, -135 on the first 5 money line. And I just said, screw that, man. I think they're going to win, but I like plus 100. That looks nice to me. Bailey Ober, been really good this year, man. 3.19 ERA, a 3.69 xERA, and a 3.76 FIP. And those numbers, Pete, are after his worst outing of the year, where he gave up 6 earned over 4 innings to the Royals. So before that, he had an ERA under 2. Like, Bailey Ober is a very under the radar pitcher. I think it has been this year, where he's just kind of shoved quietly behind Joe Ryan and Sonny Gray. So he doesn't really get too much love, but I think he's going to bounce back today against a D-backs offense that has not been hitting righties. They've been super cold as an offense overall. Last 14 days, 86 WRC plus, and they have a 289 xWOBA against righties the last 30 days. So I think Bailey Ober should have, no trouble rolling through this D-backs lineup. And then Merrill Kelly, I've been waiting for him to regress all season. He still has a 3.23 ERA somehow, but a 4.31 xERA. I'm expecting some regression, and the Twins can definitely hit right-handed pitching. They don't do well against lefties, but I think they can hit right-handed pitching. 353 WOBA and a 319 xWOBA against righties the last 30 days. I think they can get to Kelly, and I'm trusting Ober to hold it down.
Fair enough. 3 plays, 3 winners. Oh, no, you got one more.
4.
One more.
I got one more here. I think Ollie is on this one as well. He's
on the full game over.
He's on the full game. Okay, I'm on the first 5. Cardinals, Rockies, first 5 over 5.5. I mean, holy shit. Is this the worst pitching matchup of the year, Pete? Chris Flexen has a 6.73 xERA this year, and Adam Wainwright has a 7.58 xERA. And so I was curious. I saw 7.58 xERA, and I was like, that has to be one of the worst ever over a season. And the highest xERA that I found was Edwin Jackson back in 2019 had an xERA over 8.
Oh.
So, like, Adam Wainwright is approaching that at 7.58 xERA. But yeah, Flexen made his return after a month off and gave up 5 earned runs to the A's over 3 2/3. So I think the Cardinals can absolutely wallop him early, and they just mash righties. We know that. This Rockies offense is bad, but like, it's Adam Wainwright, so I don't think it really matters. So I think that this should be like 8 runs. I was surprised it's at 5.5. Like, it should have been 6.
Good stuff, my friend. 4 plays, 4 winners. We'll move on to Gino. We just got so many plays today. Got to get everybody in.
Yeah, sounds good, bro.
One of the hottest bettors on planet Earth, Colby Olson, mustache and beard, looking good. Talk to you soon.
Adios.
Is that Gino I see?
And I think I'm off mute.
And you're off mute. What's going on, my friend? Not used to seeing you without without a hat on. Look at that full head of hair. You
Oh,
talking about
dude,
being
this
old?
is-
Look how full that is.
This is the wife, the baby keeping me up,
love
hair
it.
falling out and everything. So I hope y'all listened. We won units yesterday,
Atta
but we
baby.
lost our biggest play.
Yep.
This is why it was just 2 units. The 1.51 at plus 140 that covered that. And then we had a push and a win. So I think we made 0.75 units on the show.
That's the same thing with me. I was on Cardinals 2 and I was on Mariners 2. I just did 1 unit on both. Came out a little bit ahead.
That's what you want to do. Let's go bottom to top. Maybe we got some good games. I was listening in. I actually think we got some good gambling games too. It just depends who you ask here, but this is my favorite time for baseball. August is some of my favorite time. That the chips start to fall, and October's around the corner because people do lose a lot of attention in September. September, teams have faded away. There's the teams in the hunt, and there's NFL casting a shadow over it. So I like August baseball. Philly, Kansas City. This one is only a half a unit because it's pretty much the line is where it should be. So you're like, why is it a bet at all? A lot of my player props leaned on the over. So it's a very small bet because I have it as, okay, this is right around where it should be. I technically had it at 9.5, but minus 125. And then the reason it's still a bet and not no bet was simply player props. And that's where this one fell.
Fair enough. Another half unit play in the Marlins.
Yeah. These Marlins. Are these Marlins dangerous, Pete, in your eyes?
No.
Were they? They were dangerous like a month ago, right?
No, they were. So last season, they were the worst team in baseball in 1-run games. This year, they were number 1. I think they still are. You know who they kind of remind me of? Minnesota Vikings.
Interesting.
Are the Vikings dangerous? But they were winning all the time.
Yeah. No, it's a very good.
Yeah.
I do like some of their pitchers, though. And I do.
Yeah. Luzardo's fantastic.
Some of their young talent. That one kid was on fire for like a month straight. Best hitter in baseball. So this one's a real simple, very, very sliver of RLM. So I saw more tickets come in on Texas, but the line opened up at minus 140. It's now down to minus 136. So just a little small EV positive play here. I have anything over plus 110 is worth betting.
Fair enough. All right, let's keep moving. Nationals money line. You hate to see it.
What? So wait, these are my favorite plays. These are like my favorite plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Corbin. I think you're getting him at a decent price here at plus 145. And I like fading hot teams. Cincinnati has been a team I'd stayed away from probably the past month. But I looked at this one. I don't know how accurate this was. I saw as high as 80% of tickets and money were on Cincy.
It's so public.
Yeah, so public. But public's one thing, right? You don't just automatically fade the public guys.
Yeah, like I'm on the Reds first 5 today. So I'm riding with them.
The only reason I fade them is it brought the line from 142 to 178. So when it did that, the Nationals opened up at plus 130. I gained 15 points of value on what I felt like was a pretty accurate line. So that's where this bet comes from for anyone wondering. And again, anything over plus 145, hammer away. So just depends what you could shop it at. Don't go under 145 though.
Fair enough. You said though, let's just stay on that game for a second. Do you say you like to stay away from hot teams or bet against hot teams? Because the Reds did just lose. They got trounced by the Cubs in that series.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was speaking a little more bigger picture. I've stayed away from the Reds for like 6 weeks.
Okay.
I've seen people trying to get in front of them, and that's where I coach. Don't do that.
Okay.
Now I feel like the tables, the stakes have settled, the dust has settled, the waves are settled, and I just like Corbin at plus 145 in this position, and I like the fact that 80% of the tickets gave me 15 points of value from the opening line, which I felt like was a fair line. This might be helpful too, maybe to you, Pete. I love looking at the dogs opening line because most bets still come in on the favorite. So that's where it's a good place for you if you're newer to capping or newer to value. Just sit and say like, hey, where they open up this dog, not as important as where they open up this favorite. because they know that they're going to get more points on that. And what do they immediately do? And gaining 15 points of value here showed exposure at the 80%, but then it moved me to EV positive because I got 15 points on it. So I thought it was a fair line. I saw nothing crazy about the line. And then I saw the public is just giving me value. There's no shady business here. The books are exposed on Cincy, so they kept raising the price. And I'm hoping to cash in on the bitter end of that value. I hope all that's helpful.
No, it's definitely helpful. Personally, be sick if we both win. Reds take a lead. Nationals come all the way back. We've done it before. Let's do it again. All right. Cleveland, Chicago under 8. We're breaking into the 1.5 units.
Oh, this is where it starts to get fun. So it depends where you look. I think that this should be a 7.5 line. I was very, very surprised to see more money come in on the over and the line stick. I saw it going up to 8.5 in a few places. 8.5s were getting as high as like -125 on the over. I feel like this is a 7.5 line. So if you give me under 8, you're giving me an extra half a run. A push at 8, instead of a loss, I have a push at 8.
Yeah.
That is what this purely is. And then you give me that little edge, that 105 instead of -110. And this is a huge bet of mine. I also have a bunch of prop parlays on. I want to make sure I give you guys the right picture, not the wrong one. On Allen's over. So I think Allen's going to have over on Ks, over on outs, over on innings. But I did not see EV positive money on Cleveland. So I think I said this yesterday. Sorry, I'm a broken record. It's just the truth. I look for ways to bet every game. I like Cleveland here. I just don't like Cleveland -160 something.
Fair enough. More than fair. But we got the 2-unit bomb.
The 2-unit bomb. Boston, Toronto, baby. You guys don't see me bet overs a lot. So I had to say, if you're gonna watch for me betting favorites and watch for me betting overs. Because they're not often. Especially when I think, Pete, correct me, Pete, I think I lost a half a point of value here and still bet it, right?
Yeah.
Open to 10, right? So this one was super interesting in the sense that more money came in early on the over with more tickets on the under. It's since balanced out. But what I saw was I was able to get earlier, the over 10 was showing -125. Do I like over 10 -125 a little better than over 10.5 -110? Yes, because I think a half a run in baseball is worth over 15. But I have this game at 11.5. I have this game as it should have opened up at 11.5. I know why they spiked it to 10.5 instantly. They saw some sharp money coming in. But I do not believe this should be anything over or anything under 11 for betting the over. So I hope that's helpful. This to me is the highest EV positive play of the day. No other game did I have a full run of value. And then I went and double checked a couple run totals, a couple RBIs, a couple base totals on each team. Leaned either over or nothing. I had nothing pointing to under. So there was nothing to scare me down back to 1.5 or 1.
Gino, as always, it was a pleasure. I like how Gino bets. He treats it like the stock market. What do you think?
Got it. If I could just say one more thing before I run.
Yeah.
Guys, we're finding 3, 4, 5% of EV in 3 hours. You won't see a stock that's respectable and stable that you can get 3 to 5% EV. That's like an earnings call day. That's why you should look at this like the stock market. And if you take it serious, I'm not fucking with you. I don't earn 30% on my portfolio in the stock market. I'm happy with 10 to just beat inflation.
Yeah.
You make 30 units and have fun drinking, partying, and talking shit to good people like this, Pete. This is the best investment in the game. And I throw that word around so loosely because the shady scam decappers say investing a lot, so I don't like it. But I will say 20 to 30 units a year doing what you love, it's better than the stock market.
I couldn't agree more. Gino, and people are asking, what's Gino's record on the stream? He's second in the competition. Let's flash the leaderboard. People are coming in new. They don't understand the value that Uncle Gino is bringing to the table.
Ooh.
There he is, right at the top. He's above me, right? We got Javon in first, Gino in second, myself in third, Ollie, Jake, not Major Matt, DeGen, Anthony. We got a couple people in the red, but everybody's close. We'll get it all back. This is why you're the best, Gino. This is why you're the best. Thanks,
Later,
Brett. I'll see you later.
See ya.
All right, now we welcome on another man in the green, here to tell me why his minus 150 Rays, the Shane McClanahan-led World Series winning, Cy Young Award winning Rays are going to beat the Tigers today.
So I just want to get something straight.
All right.
I get criticized a lot for being a biased Rays fan, but if
Fair.
you go look on my Action Network, you can count on one hand how many times I have bet the Rays on the money line to win the game. Have I targeted specific angles in the Rays, whether it's their bats or more so their pitching?
Almost every day.
Maybe. But Shane McClanahan, although I did invest on him in season to win the Cy Young, that shit ain't hitting, and that was a terrible idea. I thought I saw him turn the corner, and I didn't. You know, we have this injury speculation, and I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter. Injury or not, or back or tightness, this or that. He ain't got it. He ain't got it. He's been too inconsistent. He's having these bad innings. But I will tell you this, Peter. I went to Yankee Stadium. It was an awful experience. Getting off the train, getting in the stadium for whatever reason. It's a very wealthy franchise, an organization. Yet somehow, some way, Citi Field has figured out that when you get off the train, they have 6 entrances for you to get to. Everybody splits up. You get in 5-10 minutes. Absolute chaos getting into Yankee Stadium.
Agreed.
There's only 2 entrances. I got there an hour early, too. So I went there. I watched the Rays in person, and I did like the Rays that day. Did I nuke the Rays that day? No, I took Tyler Glasnow strikeouts, and Tyler Glasnow has been an incredible pitcher. We won't have to spend time talking about that. But
do you like the ticker that we put down below?
DGen is 1-0 on Rays. So here's what I'm going to tell you, though. Yes, I am going to tell you. Have I been wrong in trying to hope that a masterclass of Shane McClanahan is coming back? Yes.
I've also head up. I've bet on the Tigers, I think, 75 times this year. I think I'm like 3-72. So
well, let's be honest. They're I don't know what's going on with my lighting, by the way. Sorry. They're a fun team to back. They're scrappy, and at home at a plus price, I feel like is the best spot to bet them. And what I think is drawing in bettors like yourself and some other guys on Action Network that I saw on them, who I'm not criticizing. You're all smart people. But what I find, not in baseball, in every sport, golf especially, every time you get the smartest guys in golf capping on the same guy, does it work out? More often than not, it doesn't. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I think it's any sort of trap, fake sharp line, anything like that. I get it. The Tigers,
because I was told early in the stream that the Jen is going to come on and tell you why Tigers are fake sharp.
But I'm not really going to say that.
Fair.
I'm not. You know what I'm going to tell you? Because I get it. The Tigers at home at a plus price, they're fun to take. And then, yes, you have the Rays, who are a better team record-wise. But if you look at what they've done since early July, Peter, that was almost, they were 1 loss away from the worst month in franchise history. That is fucking insane when they are the 3rd favorite to win the World Series. So people don't fully understand how bad it's been. Really, really bad. You got pitchers left and right on the IL. Now you got Zach Littell going, who's a bullpen guy. They're trying to make him starter because they need arms, right? Traded for Savale, thankfully. But I am seeing progress in this team. And you can just tune out everything I'm saying because you're like, oh, it's a biased Rays fan.
I'm not. I'm listening. I'm here.
I'm talking about like the other guys in the chat. Fart
like
tastes
big whale
good,
balls.
Whale
Fart
balls.
tastes good.
All these guys. Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, as a fan, as a baseball fan, I am seeing some progress in some rate. What do baseball teams do? You know it. They get up, they get down. It's a long season. There's a lot of this. I'm just telling you, from what I see in this team on television in Houston, when they won that series, that was huge. 2-1 in that series in Houston. Then they win the series in the Bronx, 2-1. Seen it with my own eyes. They went from having the most pathetic, lazy, awful at-bats to finally working the counts, getting some competitive at-bats. Now they're hitting the home run ball again, which before the Braves went on this insane fucking tear, the Rays hit the most home runs in the MLB for like the first 2 months of the season. So I'm seeing that come back. Randy is gassed. He was a stud in World Baseball Classic. He's played a lot of baseball. He was incredible to start the season, went to the All-Star game, home run derby, What happens next? He goes like 0 for 25 or something. He finally hit a home run in the Bronx. I think that was a nice wake-up call. Yeah, the game against Garrett Cole wasn't great. He's an enigma. He's the best pitcher in baseball. I'm happy to admit it. But I think, most importantly, this is a Rays team that got a little confidence boost to get out of this rut by just winning 2 series against the Astros and Yankees that they desperately needed. Then they get a day off. Now they go to Detroit. Littell's pitching. He's been competent. He's nothing great. He's nothing special. But I really like the Rays offense to do enough to get this win. I know the total's right at 9. Some sharp guys are on the under. I really think this could be like a 6-4 game. So I don't like the total. I really like the Rays bats. I don't think it's going to be an easy win. It's not a ladder. It's not a nuke. But I am going to – God, did I get it at 150? This fucking thing opened like 130. I never get the best numbers. But, yeah, I'm comfortable laying a unit on a don't overthink it play, in my opinion. I think it's a spot where the Rays can take care of business. Now, tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure. That's when Savale debuts. But I like him to win tonight.
See, I think Savale is like miles better than Littell. So what I am curious about, you're a splits guy. You go on VSiN. You run a great Twitch show, right? The Degenerate Weekly. You guys check it out at 11 a.m. I assume a lot of you in the chat already watch it.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And you're a big fan of looking at the splits.
Yes.
And as I'm sure you can imagine, a lot of money on the Rays.
Yes.
You don't care. I don't care either. I'm just saying I'm on the Reds today, and everybody in America is also on the Reds. But you're better that I'm surprised. Not really because it's the Rays, but I feel like if this was any other team and you saw that money distribution, you wouldn't love it.
Not entirely true.
Talk to me.
I take the public side. I take the square side quite often, especially later in the year. My style has the most success. And I can only speak to what I've been tracking on Action Network now, but from last season and this season, if I were to stop betting baseball after 2 months, I would be up probably 50 plus units. I mean, April and May are fantastic. Getting into June and July are awful. So I try to adjust and take more square plays. I don't overthink the splits. I try to think more about baseball sense. And I just gave you a lot of reasons. I think I didn't even mention the splits once of why I like the Rays to win this game. But you're absolutely right. But also, at the end of the day, how much fucking money was on the Braves? You know what I mean? And they went 8-0.
$1 billion probably.
That's what I'm saying. You know, so it happens quite often in baseball. And also these short lines. The Brewers were just 120 to 130 the other day. They sucked me in. I took Mitch Keller at a short plus price, 14-1. You know what I mean? So
CLV doesn't matter. Splits. No, I agree. I totally agree with you. I just know your style. So that's why I was just like,
yeah, it usually always makes me feel uncomfortable to be, you know, in the same side of everybody else. Like,
no, I agree. That's the same thing with the Reds today.
Yeah, I think the Reds are a good play too. But at the end of the day, I think the Nats have been scrappy. Their bats are feisty, and that's what's keeping me off of it. I like the over in that game more so than anything. But sorry, I know that was a lot of time to spend on.
No, I liked it. I had a good time. Let's keep going though.
Do I have anybody behind me?
Blue Jays money line. Here's a degen play. Yeah, you got JK's behind you.
Oh,
but he's just going to tell us about FIP on Tuesdays in the morning.
Yeah, JK's lives
level
in
of
South Dakota. Like, he's got more time on him. He got the nearest Walmart's like 15 miles away, so he got plenty of time. So let me tell you how or why I guess I'm playing the Blue Jays here. And one thing I really like to do, and again in all sports. Actually, I wouldn't say I like to do something I always monitor and keep an eye on because I sometimes I'll just stay out of it, but it's when a team comes back from a long road trip. So especially in basketball too. And like I'm doing it now, me and my guy, Greg, we're kind of scheming and plotting like certain schedule spots in the NFL. That might be where.
That's how deep in the lab you guys are.
Yeah, we're deep.
I love it.
We're deep in there. So the Red Sox right now they had a day off, sure, but they're back home first game of the series after a 6-game West Coast road trip. Excuse me. And if you look back at their first game at home after they return from a 5+ game road trip, they're not winning the first game very often. The last one was after 5 games. They played the Mets on July 21st, day off. They lost 5-4. Then they played, the Marlins. After playing at Minnesota and at Chicago, they lost that game 10-1. And then the first game back after a 6-game road trip, played the Rockies on June 12th, lost 4-3. It's just not a really good spot for the Red Sox. Paxton's really good, no doubt about it. Also, this leans into something else I like is a lineup seeing a pitcher for the second time or third time. This is the second time I think they just saw Paxton when the Red Sox swept the Jays in Toronto. So you got a little revenge factor, which I always like too. Paxton was lights out, 7 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs. I don't expect that again. Gino was on here talking about the over. I love the over. I like the Jays team total over. But I've banned myself from playing it because I could just never hit it. But I like the Jays.
It's landing on 4. But they're going to win now. They're going to win 4-3.
Yeah. So I told myself I like the Jays bats. I was going to play the team total over and call it a day. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to take a stab at a plus price here. I like the Jays. Do I like Alek Manoah? No. I have absolutely no reason to try to sit up here and tell you that I'm betting on the Jays because of Alek Manoah. I think the Red Sox score runs. I just think the Blue Jays score more. So if anybody's listening to this, they kind of like, I like that angle too, but I don't want to play that plus price on Manoah. I would absolutely co-sign a Jays team total over.
Fair enough. Let's keep moving on. We got another one.
Yeah, what's next? Sorry.
Pirates Brewers under.
I don't have to spend too much time on this one. Just a really high scoring game yesterday. I think that was the Mitch Keller game I was telling you about. 14-1. And then I don't know. I mean, I look at this and I just see these two pitchers. Colin Ray just got blown up. Granted, it was against the Braves, who doesn't get their shit rocked against that.
They're
team.
amazing. They are just amazing.
I mean, it's just annoying. Did you see my tweet? I tweeted it was annoying that they are hitting home runs. Why don't they hit some stand-up doubles and triples? They fucking hit a triple and a double the very next to at bats. You cannot make it up. It's insane. Yeah, they're incredible. But anyways, Pirates, Brewers, Colin Ray, Quinn Priester. I look at these ERAs. They're both pretty high, combined at like 11 or 12, whatever. Colin Ray just had a bad showing. We just had 15 runs yesterday. This just kind of feels like an under nobody really wants. And I'm also of the mindset that I'm totally done betting on bad teams. Although I'm betting on Alek Manoah. I'm done betting on bad teams. And so I don't want to take the Pirates. I'm not going to try to get contrarian in that sense. But I think this is like a 4-3 game tops. So not really anything that I'm going to like spend a lot of time on trying to sell you. Nothing really that I see in the splits. 54% of the bets, 56% of the money on the over. But I'm just going to go with a gut play. High scoring game, 2 shitty pitchers. Who wants this under? It's nasty. And Pete, I will tell you this. That is the one thing I've been having like decent, like consistent success on is trying to find an under that I think nobody is taking on that slate. I just went to Luke Weaver yesterday in the Cubs Reds, and that came through. So this kind of feels like the one for me today.
It's funny. The model on justbaseball.com continually is pointing to Quinn Priester's success. It likes the under a lot today.
Oh, it does?
It does. And I was thinking about playing it too because I kind of was on the same wavelength. When I watch Quinn Priester, it's almost different. Even though the model continues to like Reese Olson, I watch Reese Olson and I really like him. Like that's kind of the main reason I'm on Tigers today is like Reese Olson, Zach Littell, same ERA, but I think Reese Olson is like way better than Zach Littell is. Model has the same love for Priester. There's no stuff there. Like, I just think he's not ready. I think he's too raw. Mm-hmm. But maybe Ray shoves because they also like Ray today. That's why they like the full game under. Like, they think the Brewers win. They think it's a 4-3 game. So
that's what I said. Peter, I got news for you, bud. I am the model.
You are the model. It's just you feeding it in. But we got more plays. And we got Jake Hazen in South Dakota ready to go. And also, shout out Jake Hazen. You know I love your baseball analysis. I'm just making fun of you. But I know what you're going to do when you talk about the Mets. And you're going to say, well, Dean Kramer's FIP in August and Wednesday day games when the dew is at 8. Go ahead.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I actually really like Jake Hazen.
I love Jake.
And I have nothing against South Dakota.
I do.
I love Fargo. Great movie, great TV series. Anyways, Minnesota, Arizona. This is so kind of the complete opposite angle. I look at these two pitchers. Pretty good ERA. I know nobody really likes Merrill Kelly. I don't know what the consensus or like the vibe is.
I'm a Merrill Kelly guy. I like Merrill
You
Kelly.
are a Merrill
I'm
Kelly.
a Merrill Kelly guy.
I could have sworn, Peter, in my stream, I thought people liked Merrill Kelly, and everybody said, no, you're thinking of Mitch Keller. Fargo, North Dakota. Oh, yeah.
Yuppie.
Everybody knows that. So everybody in my stream was telling me nobody likes Merrill Kelly. Everybody likes to fade Merrill Kelly. I was like, that's crazy. I would have never expected that. So anyways, you like Merrill Kelly. He's got a decent ERA. Bailey Ober, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. He's got a decent ERA. The Twins games, I feel like all they do is go under. But then I look at the last 10. They're 5-4-1 to the over. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks are 2-8 to the over their last 10. Peter, just had 2 units on their team total over yesterday against the Giants bullpen. You know how many runs they scored? That's right. They didn't score any fucking runs. I love that. So this, to me, opening at 8.5 is what I see. Maybe it was 8 somewhere else. 8.5 is too high. That's too high in my opinion. The Twins, nobody likes the Twins offense. The Diamondbacks just got shut out. And these are 2 more than competent pitchers, I would think. So, again, it's just kind of being a little contrarian. I like to pick a gross under and semi-gross over, whatever. So that's that.
It's so funny. I looked at this game this morning, and you know how I bet? I think I've told you this before, is I look at the slate, and I set my lines of what I think it should be. And then if it's like equal to that or whatever, I'm like, all right, throw that game out the window. You know, I do my own research, and then I set the lines of what I think. Then I go to the model. If the model like really agrees with me, then I dive deeper, figure out if it's worth making a bet. I set this line at 7.5. And the fact that it was 8.5, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go play the under. But then the model was like around there. I looked into it and I was like, I might be just way off here. So I just didn't bet it. It was one of those where I'm like, all right, I'm pretty off. And my analysis for the game would be like too good, if that makes sense.
It does.
Sometimes what screwed me last year is I would set the lines. Analysis would be so good. Those are the bets I would lose. So I was like, and you're on the over. It makes sense to me.
I would have seen a 7.5 for this game. I wouldn't even have blinked. I wouldn't have thought twice. I would have just said this makes sense. And 8 also makes sense. But like an 8.5 to me doesn't make any sense. But it's a little high, yes. And people that see value or something on the other side, if the number's too high, they bet the opposite. I totally get it. But I'm just going to try to stay true to my totals strategy here. I feel like I feel like I've been up here so long. I'm sorry, Hazen. Do I have one more play?
Yeah, you have one more play. Seattle, Los Angeles over 8.
I saw this went 7.5 to 8, and Detmers has been awesome lately. Luis Castillo, I don't know his recent performances, but I think he's got a 2.8 ERA. So. I guess he hasn't been as good as people have expected him to be, but people really like him.
He's been like good. It's just he has these like blow up innings, but then he shuts it down. So it's like it'll be like in the second inning, and it's like 3-0 the other side.
Yeah,
Luis Castillo just gave up like a bunch of doubles in an inning, and then he'll shut down for the rest. And then he finishes with like 6-7 innings, 2 or 3 runs, and then you're like, all right, good start, but like you didn't look great.
There is something in my bones that tells me this is where somebody just said 8.5 on FanDuel now. Are they talking about this Angels game? I love to hear that. This is the game after we just saw yesterday, and I know you were on the Mariners. They came through for you in that grand slam top of the 9th. The Peter bounces are back, baby. No, but 3-1. I think it was 2-1 until Ohtani hit a late home run or something like that. 3-1. Then you get 4 runs. You look at it when you wake up the next morning, you think, oh, an 8-run game. The total was at 8. No. That was a low-scoring, sleepy game. Bad spot for the Angels traveling back east to west. Heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss. You see Ohtani's freaking, video going around on Twitter. I feel bad for the guy. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think anybody is going to anticipate runs being scored after what we just saw. And then with these 2 pitchers, yet we have the total on the rise. So in this whole slate of all these 5 games, I'm kind of giving I feel like I'm very diverse. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a melting pot of reasons. This is just like a contrarian in my opinion. Doesn't make sense. Kind of following the line a little bit. And hopefully, if it's at 8.5 now, then I got a good number. So I saw it open 7.5, got it at 8, and I'll play it at 8.
You already won all these bets because you got CLV on them.
Yeah. Next up, the Rays, though. I'm pretty sure they were like 130 to start. But
all right, my friend.
Good stuff, Pete. Good luck.
Talk to you. Good luck.
Nice
Will
weekend.
we see you at 10:30 at Stan's? Stan's for the Pikkit event.
Is that the Yankees bar?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely not. Have fun, though, Pete.
Get out of here. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Peace. Jake Hazen, apologies for the wait, my friend. I know you're just cooking in there. I know you're cooking. What do you got for us today?
So much South Dakota haze out of nowhere, man. What do we ever do?
I love that.
What if we just
Fargo is North Dakota, you yuppie.
What if we just stopped exporting our corn? You'd be pretty unhappy with us. I guess people will be talking much shit.
Okay, I have 2 hot food takes. Not an eggs guy. Never liked eggs. Not really much of a corn guy.
It doesn't matter, Peter. You know how much use corn has?
What?
You don't without corn, we wouldn't have gasoline.
Yeah, but it's not helping me win units.
Yeah, but you're also going to be like an absolute. Do you think gas expensive now? Wait till you start pissing off these South Dakotans and we stop exporting their corn, and we just have all the cheap gas prices, and you guys are just. Just already even more pissed.
All right. Chat, respect South Dakota are also going to burn down the economy. Yes, some slight. I'm not an egg guy. Don't like eggs.
You're not an egg
Don't
guy,
like,
man. That's weird.
Don't like eggs. Like, I'm not really a milk guy. Like, anything that comes,
I would like my eggs over easy. That's a hot take, apparently. I love my eggs over easy.
the yolk. Ugh.
Dude, the yolk's the best part, man. That's
Rain
right,
ma-
Devin. South
rain
Dakota
makes-
respects corn.
Rain makes corn. Corn makes whiskey.
Yeah, we
Get
do
it
that
right,
too,
Peter.
dude. Corn does everything, bro. Like, you'd be surprised how much corn does. Like,
All right, fine. Now give us a pick and win units for the
Respect
state of
corn,
South
man.
Dakota.
no, we're out of units over here in South Dakota.
You're taking the Mets as representative
It's
of South
not
Dakota.
hitting, bro. I literally just last night I tweeted, I don't know why people fade the Orioles 4 times a week. They're the most profitable team in baseball, with the second best record in MLB, and they're underdogs 4 times a week. Then here I go the next day after I tweet that, fading the Orioles. And Dean Kramer, man, this guy, he kind of
You're
has,
back.
dude, he has some legacy start. Dean Kramer just seems to just legacy all the time, either if it's for me or against me.
I
And
feel like every fifth day you're either on him, against him, on a total. And
I'm-
you just mentioned Dean Kramer. I think like you have a thing for him.
I'm the Dean Kramer guy, I guess. Corn money line. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Degen just subscribed again. Thank you, Degen. Rays ain't hitting, but thank you, Degen. All the rest of your plays are. Keep going, Jake.
As I was saying, so Dean Kramer. I mean, you want to hear the fit part, or want me just talk straight from the gut?
Straight from the gut, because we know that when you come on at this point, it's August 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Your bets are based on the numbers.
Okay.
So it's like that's sometimes how I feel. Like sometimes I'm not able to do a write-up. Like tomorrow I'm going to the stands at 10:30 in the morning. I won't be able to whip up a write-up. Know that I did the research and the numbers are backing it. They might lose. Like I lose bets all the time. I win some bets too. It's just going to be like that. But like we know that your bets are backed by the numbers. We know it.
All right, so Dean Kramer, you just watch him pitch. He's just not a pitcher, man. He just doesn't have that. You could tell by his. Like, you've ever seen his girlfriend? Not a very hot girlfriend. You already know that. You never seen the movie Moneyball. It's a pretty reputable thing that if you don't have a hot girlfriend, you lack confidence.
I agree. That's actually real.
And against this Mets lineup, despite how bad it is, you need confidence. And just I don't see that oozing out Dean Kramer. On the other side of David Peterson, this guy just I don't know what it is. He's just might be just afraid of himself. He's not good against lefties just for me watching it. He's a reverse splits guy, for whatever the hell that means. And he's facing against the Orioles, pumping out 7 righties, and he's better against them. Just by watching him play, yeah. So,
Are you doing a bit right now?
I'm just staking it from the gut, man.
All right, I like it. I mean, I'm not. There's no shot I'd tail the Mets right now, but I'm rooting for
Dude,
you.
it's actually like, dude. I mean, Peterson has like a 3.3 FIP against righties, bro.
No, he's not bad. He is not bad.
Isn't it crazy how like the Orioles can? Have,
it could literally be Jacob deGrom on the mound for the Mets, and I'm not taking him.
Isn't it crazy how the Orioles like just yesterday have like 7 lefties, the next day have 7 righties, and still have like
they can just platoon. They can do whatever they
dude,
want.
They're so good, man.
Yeah, they are
That's
good. Also, Degen Weekly says his favorite thing about South Dakota is that it's right beneath North Dakota, and that's where Fargo is.
Well, the thing is about Fargo, it's that like we have Sioux Falls, which is bigger, so we have the bigger city, and we have more people. We export more corn. We have Mount Rushmore.
Suck on that, Degen.
We have cheaper cost of living. Our weather's not as bad, but it is really bad still, but not
Okay.
as bad.
Okay.
I mean, we're better. North Dakota, just like you think South Dakota is bad, move to North Dakota. It's just everything about South Dakota, but worse.
I agree.
Yeah, everyone
South
knows
Dakota
that.
on top. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows
Corn
that.
is actually very important. He makes a good point. There you go.
Isn't important. New York.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
America's been thriving without New York forever. We've always thrived on corn. We've proven we can do one without the other. So let's pump the brakes here.
I have no comment. Pick number 2.
Oh, this was kind of a spite pick.
This was a text from JK's and last night to me. I guarantee this is hitting.
Yeah, after Estevez blew up, and actually not say after Estevez blew it up, actually 20 minutes before Matt texted me, bet the Angels make the playoffs. And then the Estevez situation happened, and then I was guaranteeing this under. It was a tough game because, like, I have these Mariners futures. I'm like, dude, they're catching steam. Like,
I know
my friend Riggs.
Aren't they putting hope in our brains?
Dude, my friend Riggs is like, he's a Mariners fan, and like I've been texting him like all season, like trying to hype him ever since I placed the future, hype him up. I'm like, dude, I don't know what it is. They just have heart now. They have that heart back.
Cade Marlowe, former Savannah Banana.
Yeah, before.
Why did Estevez throw 3 straight high fastballs? What are we doing there?
you see my tweet about Matt Wise?
About what?
That Matt Wise meme I tweeted out.
No.
There's like POV Matt Weiss comes out for mountain visit. Just throw that shit down the middle and see what happens. I replied on the thread the Angels lost tweet, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Reed Detmers, man. You watch this guy pitch, and I watch every Angels game, and this guy's incredible. His stuff is so good. His breaking stuff's really good. He's had a lot better location than his fastball, and like this guy is shaping up to look like a real ace for us in the future. Like I'm very excited for this guy now in the future. His underlying numbers are good. He's a reverse splits guy as well, and he's be facing more righties today. I mean, the Mariners don't really have. I mean, J.P. Crawford's the only lefty lineup today. He's been having a good season.
He's like the best hitter on the Mariners.
Yeah, he's having a good season. I remember earlier in the season, I was betting him like plus 170 total bases in the 9-hole. Then he moved up to I can't do that anymore, unfortunately, and I haven't touched him since. But so yeah, they have that. That's the leadoff guy. But at the same time, though, like Detmers isn't. He can pitch well with runners on base. And here's a stat. I don't know where I find this. But like I said, I watch every Angels game, and these announcers throw out tidbits like stats like
you
can never find yourself.
I love it. I don't know how they sometimes gather these, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
sometimes I think they make them up because they're so amazing.
Yeah, man, I'm like this. Like teach me like earlier in the year, the announcer said Nick Castellanos is the best hitter in baseball against fastballs over 95 miles per hour. What? Like, who would have thought? But Reed Detmers, another just to bring it up. He was at this time, which was 3 starts ago. He is last in the MLB in run support. No, sixth. I'm just saying. I'm a fan just saying he's last, but he's actually 6th, and that was 2 starts ago. And the Angels scored a combined 1 run. That was past that point when Detmers on the bump. This team just doesn't score for him, dude.
It's like Gosman on the Blue Jays. They do not score.
Look at his win-loss, dude. He's 2-8. This team is 5 games over 500. He's a good pitcher. He points out a lot of good starts for him, and he's 2-8. They give him 0 run support, and I love this guy so much. I feel so bad for him, but he's a good pitcher. We don't hit for him, and the other side we got Castillo, and Castillo's issue is power lefties, and there's one guy who's, but then let's talk about the other guy.
No, I did the same thing yesterday. I was like, Brian Woo's on the mound. There's a couple lefties we have to watch out for, but not many, right? They got Matt Tice. They got Mickey Moniak, who's kind of banged up. Matt Tice. Mickey Moniak, who's kind of banged up.
Oh, he's been so bad.
And then there was one more that I mentioned, and then I was like, they also have Ohtani. He's probably going to get his, but we just gotta ride it out.
Forgot Mike Moustakas. Come on,
Moustakas,
dude, casual.
Exactly.
The Los Angeles Rockies of California of Anaheim.
Yep.
That's them. So, but I'm not really too worried about Mike Moustakas. There's been like a really good singles hitter for us. So, but he's hitting behind Ohtani. He just gets walks. And then Matt Thaiss, man, the fall from grace for Matt Thaiss has been unbelievable. This guy, I was a big Matt Thaiss fan, but the fires kind of ran out. He's down to like a 650 OPS now, and he's just been pitiful at the plate. Mickey Moniak, who's like still like hit safely at like 20 of the last 24 games, which is like insane. He has like a 350 batting average, but just for what I'm seeing with my eyeballs, these last 5 games, he's been striking out a bunch. And granted,
hurt.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right. He's swinging at every fastball high of the zone. He can't get any. He just gets so much whiff. He's like striking like 3 times a game. It's insane. I'm not really fearing him. Mike Moustakas, sure, he can hit singles. And then there's some other lefty in there.
Ohtani might hit a home run, but like, but all you got to do is keep it under 4.5.
Oh, Luis Rengifo too, who's been fucking amazing. He's been so good, but it doesn't matter because you don't give Reed Detmers run support. So like all these stats I'm telling you, like it just doesn't matter. I try to bet back Detmers every single way, and every time I try to back Detmers, I never bet in the Angels. I never bet in the Angels. I bet like his Ks, the under, team totals, and I'm very comfortable with backing Luis Castillo, which I was shocked to see as a 2.8 ERA. I feel like he's been much worse.
I agree. His starts I feel like because you see the Mariners are losing early with Castillo on the mound. Like he gives up 2, like it's 2-0 in the first, and then he follows it with 5 shutty, and you're just like, oh wait, that was like a good outing. It just looked bad to start, and then you like throw him to the wind.
Some slight. I'm an Angels fan from California, from South Dakota. Some in the chest, so it's a good combination of things.
Is there beef between South and North Dakota?
No, we don't barely acknowledge them. They're nothing.
They're nothing.
They're nothing.
It's all about South Dakota.
To tell you what, North Dakota State and South Dakota State, that's a big rivalry, though.
That's a big rivalry.
That's a big rivalry. One of the best rivalries ever.
But probably the top rivalry in
yeah,
America.
so it's to lay down the basis of this. Castillo, he should be able to play into his strengths pretty well. Ohtani might just get cramps in the first inning because he just does way too much, and
He's
insane.
a human being, kind of.
I mean, he's proved it this year.
Like that's like his worst injury. It's like his muscles are like, please help us.
I mean, he proved it this year. He's a human being by getting cramps. He proved it.
Yeah, he did.
He proved he's human. They can play into his strengths, and the Angels literally refuse to give Detmers run support. I'm not going to bore you with how well Detmers matches up. I can just promise you he does. That doesn't mean he's going to pitch well, but coming in this game's matchups, it's look well, and I have 2 units on it. I mean, granted, look back at this. I still love the play. I would put 1 unit on it, but I was just so angry after that Angels loss last night. I just put 2 units on it. Like, fuck it. Spite bet. This going well.
Fair enough.
But I do like the play regardless, but it does have a lot of spite in it.
We have no more plays. 2 plays to winners.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to bet more on this board today, dude, but the amount of just bad pitchers just
I
scares
agree.
me.
It got a little
Scares
scary.
me, man.
It got a little scary. It might be a very easy board or just a.
There might be 3 no-hitters today.
Yeah. Well, Jake Hazen, love having you. We were making fun of you a lot, but it's because you're a good sport. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
I try to, man. Adios.
Peace. Did Jen having fire alarm issues? All right. I think we learned a lot today, right? We don't have anybody else coming on stream. We learned a lot today. North Dakota, South Dakota, no real beef because South Dakota clears apparently, even though our guy Tucker is a North Dakota guy calling South Dakota guys clowns. So there's something there. I don't know exactly what it is. Corn is important for some reason. Gasoline, whatever. Exactly. They have corn. And we gave you 29 picks. Now, would I recommend tailing all of them? Probably not. But what I will say is stream yesterday went up almost 10 units. I'm excited for today. Go Tigers. Screw the Rays. They are frauds. Even though I have them plus 350 to win the division, they're not going to win the division. They'll probably win today, and I'll be in piss, but I'm excited. I am excited, and I love you guys. Have a great weekend. All right, we'll be back on Monday, per usual. Jake is the 6-dash. Never shave it, Jake. Listen to that, Jake. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Pete, can I give you a UFC pick? Talk to me. Is it Jake Paul over punches? Pete, oh, no, that's not is there a prize pick slip? Absolutely. Flash the prize picks for the people. It's my prize picks entry. Reese Olson, give it to me. Give it to me. And Spencer Steer, give it to me. The African Savage money line. Who's that? Anyone in chat who knows UFC? Does anyone know that? Anyone know who that is? I do not. I guess we'll see. All right. Good luck, everybody. Not gambling advice. Peace out. See you Monday. Enjoy the weekend. All right. See, it stands. Wait, before you end it, Cone. Stands, 10:30. Come through. It's going to be me, the Book It crew, like Trent, Krabs, Javon, Lauren, Chelly, Mikey Overs, all those guys. We're going to be at stands, 10:30 a.m. Come through. It's going to be a blast. All right. Been drinking, then we'll go to the game. It's going to be fun. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Good luck. Not gambling advice. Peace.